Hello friends, a lovely welcome to your very own channel Ammu&You, where I'm Ammu and I'm here to wish you all a very happy Janamashtami, that we celebrate the birth of Lord Krishna. Little Krishna, when he is born, the day we celebrate as Janamashtami. Now, I've already done a story on this before. Today, I want to tell you more tales about this young Krishna. You would love listening to them. This has been written by Bhakti Mathur, and the story says Krishna was a handsome young lad with curly hair and a mischievous smile. His eyes were as beautiful as lotus petals. He wore a peacock feather in his hair for style. He loved singing and dancing with his friends, but playing his flute is what he liked doing best. Mesmerizing the gopis with enchanting tunes, they would dance with joy for hours without rest. All of Vrindavan loved him dearly, for he was their savior, brave and strong, ready to take on ferocious demons and anyone who was evil and did wrong. What a wonderful boy he was! And so it was that one day, when Krishna was playing with his friends by a lake, their ball fell in the water, and when Krishna jumped in, he found himself facing a ferocious, hissing snake. Who was the snake? This was none other than the infamous Khalia, the many-headed snake, as evil as can be, killing those around him with his powerful venom, spreading havoc and making everyone flee. Seeing Krishna, he said, "This young lad will be a delicious meal for me. I'm glad you fell in the lake. My boy, believe me, I'm terribly hungry." Immediately, Khalia hypnotized him with a wicked and piercing gaze. It put Krishna under a powerful spell, leaving the boy in a bit of a daze. Then Khalia made his next move, twisting around Krishna inch by inch, trying to squeeze the life out of him, while Krishna, so calm, did not even flinch. The waters of the lake were so still that Krishna's friends thought him dead. They cried in desperation as they feared what lay ahead. But under the calm waters of the lake, things were not as serene as they seemed, for Krishna had escaped from Kalia's clutches, and suddenly someone screamed. There was a loud splash, and his friends turned to see a sight that left them spellbound in a kind of reverie. Khalia and Krishna had both emerged, and Khalia looked subdued, for dancing merrily on his heads was Krishna playing the flute. My God! Krishna on the head of Khalia. The ferocious Khalia had been tamed. To the ocean, Krishna banished the snake. It was safe again for all of God's creatures to drink water and graze by the lake. There were other tales of bravery that made Vrindavan love little Krishna, and the most famous one of all was how he fought the mighty God Indra. Imagining fighting God Indra. Every year, the people of Vrindavan worshipped Indra, Lord of the clouds. They hoped he would send them rain, so in front of him, they bowed. One year, Krishna said, "Why pray to Indra? Doesn't Govardhan hill deserve our prayers instead? For it feeds our cows with its fresh grass and gives us meadows trees and flower beds. So Krishna led all the villagers to the foot of Govardhan hill, where they prayed and offered flowers and fruits, much to the mountain's thrill. No one had done that before. Now Indra was arrogant and wanted everyone to keep worshipping him. On seeing Vrindavan praying to Govardhan, he lost his temper and became very, very grim. He decided to punish the villagers and sent them rain and thunder their way. Vrindavan was struck with a raging storm. The villagers panicked, filled with dismay that what is this happening? The village was totally flooded and nobody knew what to do. Their homes and cattle were drowning. How they would see the storm through, they all wondered. Desperate, they ran to Krishna for help. He said, "Don't worry, just follow me. Govardhan Hill will give us shelter. Trust, have faith, and you will see." Trudging, they reached Govardhan Hill, and a magical sight did unfold. Krishna picked up the hill on his little finger. It was such a miracle to behold. For 7 days and 7 nights, on Krishna's finger stood Govardhan. Just like a giant umbrella, it shaded the villagers and animals of Vrindavan. Indra's plans had not worked. The villagers were safe and shielded. How is it that my storm failed? He thought. Why haven't the people of Vrindavan yielded? Indra arrived on his elephant and was shocked to see a little boy holding Govardhan on his fingertip as though he were lifting a toy. Realizing Krishna was no ordinary lad, Indra said, "So foolish were my decrees. In my arrogance, I made a big mistake. Oh Krishna, do forgive me, please." Meanwhile, in Mathura, Kansa grew more afraid as he came to hear of Krishna's heroic tales. He hatched another plan to kill him, hoping that this time he would not fail. His messenger arrived in Vrindavan, a royal invitation for Krishna in hand. His Highness invites Krishna to Mathura to honor the bravest boy in his land. Yashoda was suspicious of Kansa's intent. She was afraid he meant Krishna harm. She insisted that he go to Mathura accompanied by his foster brother Balram. Now Krishna did agree. Her fears were right, for at the city gates a huge elephant blocked the brothers' path. He was Kuluva Kansa's pet elephant, sent by Kansa to slay Krishna in a bloodbath. Krishna was not afraid and caught the elephant's tusks with all his might. They both remained locked together in a long and fearsome fight. Finally, the elephant grew tired. He was beaten out of breath. He buckled and fell with a thud to the ground, meeting his death. When Kansa heard the news that his dear elephant was dead, he called his wrestlers, Kanura and Mustika, and said, "Go bring me Krishna's head." The wrestlers attacked Krishna and Balram. Soon they were having a fierce fight, head to head and palm to palm, striking each other left and right. But the brothers were good fighters, for they were nimble and quick, butting with their lowered heads and using their knees to kick. Krishna lifted Kanura up and whirled him round and round. Then, as Kansa watched with dread, Krishna flung him to the ground. Meanwhile, Balaram wrestled Mustika, pounding him with blow after blow. Soon Mushtika could fight no more. It was the end of his show. Krishna looked to Kansa and said, "Is this how you treat your guest? Enough harm you have caused this land. It is time to put your evil to rest." Krishna ran up to the throne and pulled Kansa by his hair. He dragged him into the arena, causing Kansa gasp for air. Krishna straddled Kansa's back and hit him again and again until Kansa, bloodied and bruised, took his last breath and was finally slain. All of Mathura erupted with joy, for they had endured years of pain. They were now free of the tyrant. The curtains had come down on Kansa's reign. Krishna freed his parents Vasudeva and Devaki, and his grandfather, old Urgasen, too, after years of hardship suffered in prison. They rejoiced to see Krishna come to their rescue. They showered their blessings on Krishna, even as they shed many tears of joy. Ugrasen then said to his grandson, "You must now lead Mathura, my boy." Krishna said, "I am too young and must learn to run a kingdom. My time will come later, grandfather. Now, this is your moment of freedom." Saying this, he asked his grandfather Ugrasen to sit on the throne and gave him back his Mathura. How brave was Krishna! Little Krishna, young Krishna. There are so many tales about him. I will tell you about other tales later sometimes. Enjoy this festival. Read about Krishna and see how many virtues he had that we all worship him. So happy Janamashtami once again. Let me know how you like the story. Your comments make me so happy. Thank you for watching this video and listening to my story. Wait for me till I come back soon again. Thank you and bye.